Hey, good morning. This is David. This is another simple yoga class, second beginner's class. This is day 4 in the series I've been doing on, life happens, but yoga is a choice. And as you're coming to join me this morning, take your time to really start to become present. And this series has been just a 7-day series, and today we're going to be talking about yoga and love. And it's a bit funnier, male talking about love. I think I just feel a bit weird about it, but my take on my topic today when I talk about love is learning to love ourselves a bit better. I talk to a lot of friends of mine, and a lot of people just loathe themselves. We seem to be living in a time where the little voice in our head undermines us, puts us down, puts crap on us, and a lot of people just don't love themselves, let alone like themselves very much. And through our yoga practice, we become very aware of our body and our breath. And we become aware of the thoughts that come into our mind. My teacher used to say there's no such thing as a good or a bad thought, it's only thinking that makes it so. And if you've got that little voice niggling in your ear all the time that you're not good enough, or you're not worthy, or you're a continual disappointment, and all that crap that our mind can go on with, it starts to weigh us down. And what we can do by observing our thoughts and labelling it and just say, look, that's just a thought, you're able to let it go, and you come back to your breath and you start to affirm yourself. Use that same voice to say, yeah, look, I'm okay, I'm doing the best I can. So through the expression of love for ourselves, we can learn to love others better. If we don't love ourselves, we've got no model on how to love and how to relate to other people. You'll see as I'm standing here that I'm starting to soften. My shoulders just melted down my back. I'm really feeling connected with the mat. Beautiful deep breath in. So this is a second beginner's class. It assumes that you've been doing the first beginners, that you've started to get an understanding for all the different poses, or you've been practicing for quite a while and you know where you want to go with your practice. Go over to Simple Yoga Classes, click subscribe so you can get the newsletter. And if you've not already subscribed, watch the video to the end, press the subscription and the notification bell, and leave any comments. Comments would be awesome, just so I know that you're really engaged with what we're doing. Now bring your hands to heart center, soften the elbows, close your eyes for a moment. Take your weight between your toes and your heels. Now feel the breeze, the air on your skin. And remember through your practice today to love yourself better, to affirm yourself for what you do, and don't criticize yourself for what you can't do. All that matters is turning up. Start to take some deeper breaths. Listen for that ujjayi breath, that gentle constriction at the back of the throat. Have a beautiful practice. And release your hands by your side. I'm going to turn, but you're at the head of your mat. You don't need to turn. Just make sure you've got enough space between your feet and the head of the mat to get your hands down. Now lead with the little fingers. Hands come up, reach up tall. Back of the hands touch. Swan dive down, taking your weight back over your heels. And as you come down, do it slowly. Draw the navel point in, bend your knees as much as you need. Take hold of the shins and forward fold. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, hands to the mat. As coming into ragdoll, just take your feet to hip distance apart. Taking hold of opposite elbow. Now release your head, a long, loose head on a long neck. Rocking from side to side. Take your weight between your toes and your heels and soften into it. And as you can, or if you can, slowly straighten your legs to lengthen the hamstrings. Now release your hands to the mat. Now step the right foot back. Release the right knee down, the top of the right foot down. Hands come up to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers together and draw back. Look up. Hands come back up. Hands to the mat. Step the left foot back to join the right. Both big toes touching. Walking your dog out. And remember the cues. The thumbs draw together. Spin the elbow creases so they're facing forward to open you up across the shoulder. Taking a slight dip in your elbow, release the head. And then turn the elbow creases and push back. Draw the navel point in. And then walking your dog out. Just bending one leg and the other leg. Getting a nice inverted V or an A. Your sternum is heading towards your knees. That's the intention. Breathe. Now come on the ball of the left foot. Lift the right leg. Place it on the mat. The left knee comes down. The left foot comes out. Inhale. Hands come up. Reach up. Hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers together. And then draw back. Look up. Whatever expression of it is, that's yours. Hands come up. Hands to the mat. The left foot joins the right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, take your weight forward so your weight's over the arch of your foot. And then roll up. Reach up. Hands by your side. Palms turn in towards your hips. Breathe. Lead, hands come up. Back of the hands touch. Swan dive forward. Navel point draws in. Hands behind the calves, helping the stretch. Inhale, flat back. Hands to the mat. Step the right foot back. The right knee comes down. Hands come to heart center. You're ready for an inhale. Reach up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Open your chest up. Look up. Hands come back up. Down to the mat. Tuck the toes under. Left foot joins the right.
On the ball of the left foot, lift the right leg, place the right foot on the mat, the left foot down, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands behind your back. Open your chest up, look up. Hands up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Left foot joins the right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Take hold of the left wrist this time. Exhale, push your hips out to the left. Look up under your right elbow. Come back to center. The left hand holds the right wrist. Push the hips out to the right. Look up under the right elbow. Stretching the fascia along the right side. Come back to center. Exhale, hands by your side. Lift your shoulders, roll them back, soften them down your back. You see so many people as they get older, they start to walk quite stooped. It's just beautiful practice to lift your shoulders, roll them back and let them melt. Take your attention to your feet. Don't necessarily change them, but observe how they are on the mat. Remember, any thought that comes up, it's not good or bad. It's only thinking that makes it so. Affirm yourself. Learn to love yourself better. Lead with the little fingers. Hands come up on the tippy toes. Back of the hands touch. Bottom comes out. Swan dive forward. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, both hands to the mat. The full circumference of your hand on the mat. You might walk your feet back a bit. Get the full circumference of the hand down. And then step back into high plank. Keep your bottom lifted. If you need to release your knees, release your knees. Always remember, each pose is an invitation. It is your choice to come or to watch. Take your weight forward, brush your elbows against your side, come down, 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 all the way down. Release your toes, lift your hands off the mat if you can, engage in the muscles in your back. Placing the hands down, tuck the toes under. For the first one, we're going to roll over our knees and push back into our down dog. Take your time. Now come back forward, high plank, chaturanga. Come into a gentle cobra. Tuck your toes under. You either push up into your down dog or you roll over your knees. The push up, you just push, keep your elbows tucked in, push into the mat, and then roll over your toes, pushing back into your dog. Now come on the ball of the left foot, lift the right leg high, step it forward. The right foot comes down, the little toes just near the thumb of your right hand. The left heel comes down, and if you have a look, you'll see that the right heel is pretty much in line with the left heel. Push into the four corners of the right foot. Inhale as you come up into Virabhadrasana 1. You really need to have a line on your mat, just going right up the middle. It's terrific for making sure that you're balanced on your mat and that you've got your feet in the right places. Now just check the right knee over the right ankle, spread the webbing of the toes, ground down through the right foot. Check your left foot, 45 degrees.
Zip up the left kneecap, engage your left quad. Your hips are about 15 degrees, maybe 20. And then you turn your torso so it's facing forward. Hands reach up, shoulders are soft down the back. A lot of space between the ears and the shoulder blades. Virabhadrasana 1. Coming onto the ball of the right foot, you can lift the right heel and you'll immediately feel a releasing of that hip flexor on the right. Now taking a breath in, exhale to Warrior 2. The left foot moves so that it's now about 5 degrees. Check that the right knee doesn't come in. And the width of your leg determine how strong it is. If today you don't feel that strong, you just walk the right leg in, but always keep the right knee over the right ankle. But you might be up here today. Or you might be feeling really good today, and you can walk that right foot forward, get beautiful Virabhadrasana 1, warrior pose. Navel points in, pelvic floor lifts, shoulders are soft. The drishti's over the middle finger of the right hand. Now turn the right hand over, exalted warrior, reach up tall, reach back, stretch the right side, and then look to the mat, cartwheel down, come onto your left toes, right foot back, come forward, lower down to the mat, maybe coming into upward facing dog. On the top of the toes, knees are off, thighs are off, pressing down, rolling back into the dog. Breathe. Just bring your attention to your breath. Any thoughts that are coming up that are taking you out of your practice or that are undermining you, just let them go. Come on the ball of the right foot, lift the left leg high, step it forward, place it on the mat. The right heel comes down. Inhale as you come up. Now square your torso so it's facing forward. Ground down through the left foot, lift the left toes, spread the webbing. The left knee over the ankle, right foot 45 degrees, right leg strong. Warrior 1, soft drishti. Take a big breath in and then exhale to Warrior 2. The inner thigh rolls to outer thigh. It's an open hip position. The shoulders are lifted, soft. You reach for the space past your hands. Just moving your body backwards and forwards, make sure it's vertical over your hips. Turn the left palm over, reach up. Right hand walks down that leg. And then look to the mat, cartwheel down, high plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, exhale back to down dog. Now come into child's pose for a moment, knees out wide, big toes touch. Draw, engage your tummy. I'm going to have to mop down. Very humid here. And coming into child's pose. Remember to get a block put under your head if you can't get your head down.
beautiful story last night. It said, you can tell, or something like this, when you can tell when society's good when old men plant trees that they're never going to sit in the shade of. Like that. Remember your ujjayi breath. You might get your elbows down, totally relax. Now we're going to do a flow. We're going to do warrior 1, warrior 2, exalted warrior, down to the mat. We're going to do it 3 times on each side. If you only want to do twice, or you only want to do once, or if you simply want to watch and get the experience of the movement in your body, in your mind's eye, all 3 options are valid. Take your time, concentrate on the correct anatomical alignment. Watch for the thoughts that are undermining you and let them go. Listen to the voice that's affirming you. Joining me on the mat is what's important. Nothing else matters. Now inhale, come forward. Tuck your toes under. Push back into the dog. And when you finish your 3 sets, or your 2 or your 1, we'll meet back on the mat in child's pose. So we'll start together. Lift the right leg, step it forward. Now you flow at your own pace. You can skip the breath between warrior 1 and warrior 2. And just flow. Make it beautiful. Make it graceful. Whoa. This is very slippery. Before I slip over and hurt myself, I better put my towel out, I think. Better. Come into child's pose. Having a wipe if you need. Tell yourself that you're awesome. You're doing great. Just being here is what matters. And relax down to your mat. Hips coming down. There's been so much talk lately of shame. Bren Brown has started it as a TED talk, I think, and shame's a funny thing, you know. It's once you recognise it, it's like a really dark grey cloak that you've been wearing for years and you're not conscious of it. But, you know, something happened at some point that made you feel not worthy, not good enough, that you weren't able to be enough. You weren't desirable enough. Something happened. And with shame, that the awareness that it exists means that you can start to work with it. Letting go of shame. Embracing that self of I'm okay. Now inhale, just come up over onto your hands and knees. Coming into a box pose. Coming into doing a cow. Coming into a cat. Tuck your tail under. Getting out of bed first thing in the morning, I love to do cat and cow. Just really starts to stretch the body. Now come back to neutral position. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the right foot and place it outside the right hand. We then turn the right foot so it turns out 45 degrees. And we come onto the blade of the right foot and the right knee starts to melt away. And now come up onto the top of the left foot and just crib the left knee back. You'll start to feel the stretch in the inner groin. Maybe lift the left knee, move it back a tad. Engage the stomach. Now this is your first edge of stretch. And you might stay here and think this is a lovely position. But if you're not feeling the stretch in that inner groin area, you might be able to come down onto the left elbow. That might still feel fine, and then you might be able to come down to both elbows. But you can see that left leg's nearly straight now. The right knee's melted away. The right foot's facing the same direction as the right knee. 5 breaths. A lot of people love this, opening the hips up. You come up on your right hand, your left hand. Now walk the right foot in, just walk it in. Lift the right hand, place it on the outside of the right foot and come into your runner's lunge. Drawing the dorsal flex means bring the toes back towards the knee. Plantar flex as you push your foot away, but we're dorsal flexing. Just take your left hand, feel that right hamstring, and say release, baby. Let go. If you pull the kneecap up of the right knee, pull the right kneecap up, we're doing reciprocal inhibition. That's not right. Reciprocal something. But by engaging the quadricep, you release the hamstring. And then come forward. And now we're stretching the left hip flexor. The cue here is to engage the left glute. I never got that sense of engaging my left glute that well. And then rock backwards and forwards. Oh, that really does feel so nice on that hamstring. That's rocking backwards and forwards. People say they can't do yoga because they're not flexible enough. You come to yoga to become flexible, not to. You don't have to be flexible. It's like saying you're only going to go to the dinner table when you're full. You go to the dinner table when you're hungry. Now press into the right hands. Take that right leg behind you. If you bring the right knee nearly parallel with the left knee, you'll nearly be in the right spot. Now lift the left leg. Take it to the outside of the left hand. Turn it 45 degrees. Come onto the blade of the left foot. Allow the left knee to go away. And then lift the right kneecap. Start to feel a stretch in the groin. And then decide if this is good for you, where you want to stay, or whether you come down to the right elbow and maybe the left elbow. Just allowing that left knee to just be there. If you always think of the mind and the thoughts that come to mind as like popcorn in a microwave, you just observe your thoughts. It's like popcorn going pop, pop, pop. You don't have to be attached to it, you can watch them. And then you can make a choice as to what you really choose to follow with your thoughts, thinking. I'm so much tighter on my left side than on my right. Now come onto the left hand, right hand, walk the left foot in, left hand outside the left foot, and come into the runner's lunge. Ow, ow. Always watch the hours. If it's just a stretch, it's okay, but if it's a sharp burning owie, just stop, listen to your body. That dorsal flex, engage the left kneecap, engage the quadricep, releasing the hamstring. Reciprocal inhibition, I think that's the word. And then coming forward, stretching the right hip now, engaging the right glute, releasing the muscle in the hip there, and then just rocking backwards and forwards. Really talk, lengthen, breathe into that left hamstring. Let it go. I really like that theme for this series. Life happens, but yoga is a choice. So many things happen in life that we would rather not happen. But by having a regular yoga practice, it helps us become more resilient. It helps us to pause before we react or respond. Now last time forward, now bring that left foot back behind you. Lovely. Tuck your toes under, push back, come back into our dog. Taking a breath in, walk to the front of your mat. Walking, walking, walking. Inhale halfway, flat. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, roll all the way up. Release the hands by your side. Palms turn in. Release your shoulders. Now you might notice, I'd rather you be not watching the TV really. If I'm cueing the poses correctly, you could have the TV turned off and just listen to my voice. But bring your awareness to your feet. Are they apart or are they together? It is simply starting to be aware of this psychosomatic instrument, whatever that means. Now preparing for tree pose, bring your palms together, take your weight into your left foot. Now take the right knee out, place the right heel above your left ankle, and then grow your tree, reach up, navel point draws in. You might stay here, soft focus, ground down through the left foot, and then you might play with lifting the right foot, sole of the right foot onto the left calf, keeping the right knee out wide. Breathe, core, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha Minor, shoulders are soft. The soft focus means that you don't particularly have a hard gaze on one point. It's a very broad focus, a full peripheral vision of your eyes. And release the right foot, hands back to heart center. Take your weight into your right foot, the left heel above the right ankle, ground down through the right foot, and then maybe lift the left sole onto your calf, and then grow your tree. I did it differently that time. Notice a difference. We grew our tree after we had lifted our foot. See what works for you. And now release the left foot, hands back to heart center. Release your hands by your side, palms face forward. Take your weight between your toes and your heels. Allow your eyes to be soft, to turn your attention inwards for a moment. Remembering that breath connects body, mind and spirit. Feel the breath in the full dimension of your lungs. Breathing on the side, out the back ribs, out the front. Now lead with the little fingers, hands come back up. Back of the hands touch, swan dive forward. Hips, bottom goes back. Hands come down, bend your knees as much as you need. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, hands down, full circumference of your hand down. Step back into high plank. Now bend your elbows, brush your elbows against your side. Come slowly down to the mat. Your toes go out long. Shuffling back along your mat if you're too far forward like I am. Hands come by your side and resting your right cheek on the mat. And just breathing. My ribs are delicate, so I can't get my head all the way down. Bear with me. Now bring your forehead to the mat. Turn your palms so they're facing down. And now lift your shoulders, lift your hands. Lift those top ribs. Push out through the toes. Draw the muscles together along your back. Engage the glutes. Lift your feet off, lift your knees off your thighs. Fly. Just imagine you've jumped out of a plane, you've got one of those Batman suits on and you're soaring. You're feeling awesome. You've done a good practice. Affirm yourself. Now turn your palms down, bring the left cheek down, and relax. Rock your body from side to side. Now bring your hands up beside your shoulders. Now do a half push-up, roll up over your knees. Sit down on your left butt cheek. Swing your feet around to the front, just where your hands were. Lay down on your back, preparing for bridge pose. And lay down. Oh. Now bring your feet in. Imagine your heels parallel with the sitting bones, or just feel, check that they are. And reach down so your fingertips. Where's my foot? God. Hang on, I've got to lift up a bit here. Shuffle. Oh, there it is. Now your feet, heels, touch with the fingertips. Heels parallel with the sitting bones. Now push into your heels. Push into your heels and feel the knees move forward. Walk your shoulder blades together and then interlace your hands together behind your back. Lift your hips, lift your hips, lift, lift, and then push your hands down into the mat. We're stretching the quadriceps. Beautiful, beautiful back bend. Lift up. The idea is that your sternum will become at 90 degrees to the mat. Don't ever look anywhere else but straight up. Keeping the natural curve in the neck. Don't press the neck down into the mat. That's naughty. And then coming down, all the way down. Now bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to go away. Right hand on the tummy, left hand on the heart. Just a really short core today. I want to do some twists today. It feels a good day to twisting is so good for the internal organs of the body. I hear that they all move a couple of centimeters. That's such a good exercise. If you're struggling for a good movement some days, just coming into a twist is a terrific way. Oh, it feels nice. Now bring your knees together, hug your knees into your chest. Place your hands 45 degrees to your side, place the left foot down on the mat, and extend the right leg out long, and lift the right leg 30 degrees, halfway between the knee and the floor. Lift it 60 degrees, keeping your sacrum on the mat. Lift it to 90 degrees. Sacrum's down, back down to 60, dorsal flexor foot, down to 30, breathe, and placing it all the way down, and then bring the right foot in, place it beside the left foot, extend the left foot long, dorsal flex, press into the right foot, lift the left foot 30 degrees, breathe, 60 degrees, breathe, lifting it all the way up to 90, placing the sacrum back down, back to 60, back to 30, now taking it 2 inches off the mat, and then bring the left foot in to join the right. Turn your attention inwards. Every opportunity you get, come back to the breath and the equanimity that comes naturally from practicing yoga. And just release your knees over to the right, look out over the left shoulder. Bring your knees back to the middle and let them go away to the left, look out over the right shoulder. Come back to center. Big breath in, let it go. Now just roll over to whichever side's, I always say the right side, I'll tell you why in a minute, but I'm rolling over to my left side, extending the right leg. Now come back up into a seated position. Now just move yourself back along your mat, extending your legs long. Now remove the flesh from your sitting bones so you're really grounding down through the sitting bones. Now reach up tall, reach tall. Now turn your palms to face your feet, and then leading with your heart center, your hands come down to your legs. There's no prize for reaching your toes. What's important is that you keep your back straight and you're moving at your hips. And then there's a slight ratchet action as you're coming. Breathe. Inhale out, exhale forward. Inhale out, exhale forward. As you exhale forward, you might find that you can slide your hands along your legs. And maybe they do reach your toes, but keep your back straight, leading with the heart center. And then there's a slight tuck of the chin. This hole here, it's got a special name, totally forgotten that. You tuck your chin down. And then rolling back up. And place your hands beside your hips, coming into tabletop. Just take your weight into your palms, and then lift your bottom off the mat. Roll your shoulder blades together. Keep your neck parallel with your spine. Plant or flex your foot. Push your feet down towards the mat. Lift up. Open your chest. And then coming down. Remove the flesh again. Coming into the sitting bone. Now keeping the left leg long. Lift the right leg, places the right foot outside the left leg. The left hand comes around the knee, the right knee. Your right hand comes behind your back. Push into the mat. Get the spine long. Draw the toe of the left foot back towards your knee. Look out over your right shoulder. And on the empty lung, spin to the right. Feel all the internal organs having a party. They've been shaken and shifted around. Now come back to centre. Release the right leg. The left leg comes in and over. Sole of the left foot on the mat. Draw the dorsal flex the right foot. Left hand comes behind your back. Lift and spin around to the left. Keep the spine length and the crown of the head lifted up. Lift the ribs. Empty lung, you spin. Now come back to centre. Extend the left leg. Bring your hands out to your side. Inhale, hands above your head, your palms face your feet. Draw your toes back, lift your kneecaps, engage your quads. Bring your hands down to parallel. And then slowly, using your core and the quads, lay down on your back
Lay down. Bring the right knee in with you. Make sure you're on your mat. You're not going to clunk your head on the tile. Now bring the right knee in. Take the right knee over the body to the left. Coming into a supine twist. Dorsal flex the left foot. Rolling over until the right toes come down to the mat. Come back to centre. Hug the right knee in. Square your hips up. Release the right leg. Pull the left leg in. And then taking the left knee over the body, shuffling your hips to the left. Looking out over your left shoulder. Now come back to centre. Square your hips up. And coming into Shavasana. And just releasing your feet out long. Your toes melting away. You might find that the heels are just on the edge of the mat, not too wide. Press into the back of the skull. Lift your shoulder blades, draw them together. Lift your hips, just tuck your tailbone up and under a bit to lengthen the spine. Down towards your heels. And then you relax. Remember the idea of love and that soft talk that niggles away, that undermines you. Let it go. You can't stop a thought coming, but you can stop thinking about it. And let those annoying little thoughts go. Come back to the affirmation that you're okay, that I'm okay. Relax into the soles of the feet, the top of the feet. Inner calf, outer calf. Relax. Top of the knee, back of the knee. Relax. Inner thigh, outer thigh. Your hips, your glutes. Pelvic floor. Relax. Your tummy's soft. We've done some good core work. Every pose really enjoys and exercises the core. Back of the hands, palm of the hands soft. You might have a gentle mudra, the thumb and the forefinger just touching softly. Move the jaw from side to side, just checking that the muscles in the neck are soft. And when you feel that you're as relaxed as you can possibly be, find that next level, that final level where you can actually let go completely and utterly. Take a deeper breath. Feel the relaxation response in the palm of the hand, the soles of the feet. It's like a tingling warmth. And reach your hands above your head, stretching out through the heels, stretching out through the toes, and then roll over onto your right side and come up into a comfortable seated position. You'll notice I push down into my palms, into my fingertips, lift my bottom, sit down on my sitting bones. The crown of the head's lifted very tall, a very long neck and a long spine. Bring your hands to heart center. A beautiful practice. It's been a privilege to share the time with you. And take a deep inhale and bow forward. Namaste.